Good morning, my dear student. Today we will start a new project in Normal International School as we are suffering from epidemic viral infection coronavirus. We will continue chapter 18, section 2, shifting equilibrium. We finished last week definition of equilibrium, factors that affecting equilibrium, which are temperature, pressure and concentration, and finally predicting the direction of shift. Now, we will start to discuss conditions under which reaction go to completion, but before we start we have to highlight on some basics in chemistry. We have two types of chemical reaction, reversible reaction and irreversible reaction. Reversible reactions are reactions that goes to two directions, forward and backward directions. Irreversible reactions that go to one direction or go to completion. Also, we have some signs or events during chemical reactions like formation of a separate gas, bubbles or phase. Number 2, formation of a separate solid or precipitate. Number 3, see light or feel heat. Number 4, color change like burning. Also, we can classify chemical reaction to four main types. Number 1, synthesis reaction. Number 2, decomposition reaction, which is the opposite of synthesis reaction. Number 3, displacement reaction or replacement reaction, and we have two types, double and single. The fourth one is combustion reaction, and this is specific for organic compounds. In addition to the last two classifications, we can divide chemical reactions according to activity with dilute acid into reaction between metal and dilute acids, which will form salt and release of hydrogen, reaction between metal oxide with dilute acid, which will produce salt and water, reaction between base and dilute acids, which produce salt and water also. The last one is the reaction between carbonate and dilute acid, which will produce salt, carbon dioxide and water. In all of these types, especially reactions that will release gas, form solid or precipitate or slightly ionized, and the reaction is happen in open container, which means losing of one of these products, and the reaction cannot be revised to the opposite direction, this type of reaction will reach to completion. That means if the salt is soluble in water, that means the reaction can be reversible, but if the salt is solid or precipitate, the reaction may be irreversible. According to what? According to the degree of ionization of this solid or precipitate. If it's completely unionized, this means the reaction is irreversible, but if it is partially or ionized, so the reaction can be reversible. According to what we can measure if the reaction is complete or no. Some reactions involve compounds formed by the chemical interaction of ions in solution appear to go to completion in the sense that the ions are almost completely removed from the solution, removed as solids. The extent to which reacting ions are removed from solution depends on the solubility of the compounds formed and if the compound is soluble or the degree of ionization. So, completion reactions can produce or release gases which will release to the atmosphere or form solids. These solids, two types of solids. These solids may be completely ionized solids, means the reaction will be reversible reaction, or solids which are formed as a precipitate and we can collect it from the reaction, so the reaction is irreversible or go to completion, and this completion is determined or can be detected according to the solubility. The solid is full ionized or it is partially ionized. If it is partially ionized, the reaction can go to completion. Now let us start the first type, which is formation of a gas. This reaction in this slide, reaction of aqueous carbonic acid to produce water liquid and release of carbon dioxide as a gas. If this reaction occurred in open container, carbon dioxide will release to the atmosphere. That means you don't have in the right side carbon dioxide, so the reaction will go to completion. This reaction goes practically to completion because of the products. Carbon dioxide escapes as a gas if the container is open to the air. The second type is formation of a precipitate. See, this reaction is the reaction between sodium chloride and silver nitrate. This type of reaction is used to detect the presence of halogens. And you know what the meaning of halogens. Halogens are elements that present in group 7 in periodic table. So now, this solution is completely ionized. You have sodium ion, aqueous solution, chloride ion in aqueous solution, silver ion in aqueous solution, and nitrate ions in aqueous solution. Now, this type of reaction is a double displacement reaction. What's the meaning of double displacement reaction? Means sodium ion will react with nitrate ion to produce sodium nitrate in the product, and this sodium nitrate is soluble in water, and the other product is silver chloride, and silver chloride is solid, it is white precipitate. So if chemically equivalent amount of the two solutes, equivalent amount means the same number of moles, and this reaction is balanced reaction. You have 1 mole of sodium, 1 mole of chloride, 1 mole of silver, 1 mole of nitrate to produce 1 mole of sodium, 1 mole of nitrate, and 1 mole of silver chloride solid. Almost all of the Ag ions and Cl ions combined and separate from the solution as a precipitate AgCl or silver chloride. Silver chloride is only very sparingly soluble in water or slightly soluble in water. The reaction thus effectively goes to completion because an essentially insoluble product is formed. The last type of reaction that will go to completion is formation of a slightly ionized product. Neutralization reactions between H3O hydronium ion from aqueous acid and hydroxide ion from aqueous base result in the formation of water molecules which are only slightly ionized, and return to section 1 and understand and study again self-ionization of water. Now, hydronium ion. This hydronium ion is resulting from reaction or dissolving of hydrogen chloride with water to form HCl liquid. So here you have Cl, which is an ion remaining from dissolving of hydrogen chloride with water. So here will hydronium ion is consists of hydrogen ion and molecule of water. So H3O carry positive charge, and the other side or the other part of the reactant is sodium hydroxide. What happened? This type of reaction also is a double displacement reaction. The product will be sodium chloride salt plus water. So here you can detect the inspector ions. What's the meaning of inspector ions? Inspector ions are ions that present in both sides of the chemical reactions. Here sodium is present in the right side and left side, so they will cancel each other, collide, present in the right side and left sides, so that you can cancel each other. So you can detect or write the net ionic equation. Yes, hydronium ion plus hydroxide ion to produce what? Two molecules of water. So hydronium ion and hydroxide ions are almost entirely removed from the solution. Removed from the solution means the reaction will go to completion. So the reaction effectively run to completion because the product is only slightly ionized. So now we understand that we have three types of chemical reactions that will go to completion. The first one, reactions that will produce a precipitate. The second one, reactions that will release gas. The third one, reactions that form slightly ionized product. Thank you. Bye.